Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. The Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it's easy to be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special bonus episode on my podcast, Scott Have Heart Wrestling by yours truly, Jamal Honus. And I'm going to talk about one of the greater table, ladders, and chairs events that happened in history. The one that happened 2 years ago, called Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2018. It'll be on December 16, 2018, represented by Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live. This event will be live from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, with an attendance record of 13,408 fans here. Not too bad of a table, ladders, and chairs event. I mean, this event will be headlined by the first ever triple threat women's championship match on the SmackDown side between Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. So you got this big TLC triple threat main event that came about when, problems lurking on SmackDown with Becky Lynch being out of action because we're broken nose by Nia Jax, the Monday Night Raw before the Survivor Series. Mind you, Ronda Rousey gets involved here, being the Raw Women's Champion. Having to face, well, she's supposed to face Becky Lynch's SmackDown Women's Championship before she got injured, and stepping to replace the injured Becky Lynch would be one Charlotte Flair. We saw how these two went down at this 2018 Survivor Series event. Knockdown drag out match. Probably one of the best women's matches, one of them I've ever seen in years between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. Charlotte Flair pretty much turned the heel that night, laying out Ronda Rousey with a kendo stick. Becky Lynch blames Charlotte Flair for not finishing the job that she would have as she would have wrestled that night. I mean, keep in mind, Becky Lynch with this no transformation, the man character, which I think is probably the best, characters of any woman in the women's division history. I still say Becky Lynch right now is still on top, even though she's out with her pregnancy, about to give birth soon. I still think Becky Lynch is still on top of the women's division, with or without being the women's champion currently that I'll be here today. And then you got involved the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, who had won the Battle Royal prior to the TLC event to be in the mix with Tyler Shaw to face for the Women's Championship at TLC, thus making this the first ever women's table and chess match triple threat style. And this will be history, to say the least, here. Alright, let's kick off things with the pre-show here. We got a Cruiserweight Championship match between Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander. Well, lasted 10 minutes, 35 seconds here. Cool. Again, I talked about Buddy Murphy being WWE's best kept secret. That is indeed true. I mean, you take a guy like Buddy Murphy and you take the athleticism of Cedric Alexander. These two mixed in, it's pretty damn cool to see what these two can do here. The match will not say the least here. If you thought the Buddy Murphy Mustafa Ali match at Survivor Series 2018 would be good, look at this matchup here from the pre-show. I mean, pretty good. Buddy Murphy getting the win in 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Pretty good match to say the least here. Next up here, you got a first, a ladder match, but a guitar was suspended above the ring. The first time to retrieve it and declared the winner. So you have Elias versus Bobby Lashley with Leo Rush. Mind you, we've seen how much Leo Rush has interfered in Bobby Lashley's matches, pretty much damn near every single one of his matches. So it's really interesting how you have this guy like Leo Rush, who is also cruiserweight, being able to utilize the ladder, and he did pretty much so. But still, it wasn't enough to get Bobby Lashley to win, as Elias will be the first one to climb the ladder and get the guitar above the ring. I know what you're thinking, guys. A guitar suspended above the ring in the ladder match. And thus, I think this is probably the first ladder match to be featured on a kickoff show, which, I feel like this match should have been in part of the main card, but I guess at least here we got plenty of matches with the main card, and then we just decided to move this one up. So again, there have been some good matches that should take place in the main card, but you know, let's put it on the kickoff show for some reason due to time infringement. And I don't necessarily agree with this because this was a decent match. It wasn't really a bad match. If I had to rate this match 3.5 out of 5 stars, to me this is one of those unique ladder match. It was a unique. It wasn't the great or best, but it was a very unique ladder match. I mean, it's a guitar spin above the ring. That's it's original. It is. It's like something you signed Jeff Jarrett for. So yeah. All right, we got to the show. We kick it off with the Mixed Match Challenge Finals. Mind you, we've had these Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook Watch, Facebook Live over the past number of couple months here. We had a tournament to see who's the best here. And we got some weird pairings here. I kind of enjoyed the mismatch match concept because it's something different. You have, no matter if it was a heel or a kayfabe, you would team up together, no matter what man or what woman. It was just a mixed match challenge. You don't really see that much mixed match tag matches in WWE's history, especially on a weekly basis, as a challenge every week on Facebook Watch every Tuesday, mind you. But yeah, we got the pairing of the Fabulous Truth, Carmella and R Truth, versus the Mahalika, I guess it's Mahalakia. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But you got the team of Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. I know what you're thinking. Very weird pairings here. But yeah, the Fabulous Truth, R Truth Carmelo got the win via submission in 5 minutes 50 seconds here. The reward was a vacation anywhere they wanted to go. Well, I guess R Truth had already beat Carmelo to the punch, and as the Carmelo said, that she wanted to go somewhere like France or Europe. R Truth seemingly, this is probably one is funny, but I enjoy Archer's comedy skit. I really do. This is what makes me want to tune every week on Raw to watch what is R-Truth going to do next. Because R-Truth is probably the funniest person in WWE today. Praise R-Truth. In-ring work skills really good. Charismatic, very funny as hell. R-Truth, for the winner of this match, vacation anywhere in the world he wanted to go, he had picked WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. I know what you're thinking. you, you couldn't get anything better funny than that. I mean, really, this is an R-Truth original. I praise the guy. Like right now, as far as comedy goes, he is number one on top of WWE. So I kind of gotta, I gotta give R-Truth for that. I mean, it's pretty funny. All right, next up, we got a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. This is probably by far on paper probably a tremendous match. You got started. You got the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. You got the New Days, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. With Big in that corner, facing the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso. This match has potential to be one of the greatest triple threat tag team matches in history. But luckily, we saw everything here. We saw all six of these guys go all out brawl here. But luckily enough, the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus will defeat the New Day and the Usos to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Champions in 12 minutes 15 seconds. I praise it. Like I said, before on my podcast, I talked about the 2016 Spartans and how, Shane Cesaro did so good defeating the Usos in that 10 on 10 traditional Saracens tag team elimination matchup here. How well they worked together. Thanks to the idea of McFoley. It was a really good idea. You got, knew they had been together for 6 years. You had the Usos been together for a long time. So for those two teams to have been in longer tag team connections, just to be beat by Jabbar, who had been a tag team for 2 years prior, that's a pretty tremendous successful right there. It's cool how James are two great athletes in their singles prime to come on the team and form the Bar. It's pretty cool. I loved it. I really did. So for them to get the win here at this event would really establish up being the top two best tag teams. And in my mind, I think the best tag teams, New Generation, the New Day, and the Usos. Very tremendous success here. So I'll praise it for you for putting the Bar together. A very successful idea. That's probably one of the many successful ideas of Mick Foley that has ever been in this new era of WWE's history. I loved it. I really did. Next up, we have a very unique TLC match. There were two TLC matches. This was the first one to happen besides the Triple Threat Women's match in the main event. You would have Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. And get these stipulations. If Strowman had won, he would have earned a Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar. However, if Corbin had won, he would have been a full-time general manager of Monday Night Raw. And like I said, Braun Strowman won. Besides the entire shot, Baron Corbin will be stripped of his authority of power of Monday Night Raw. Very big opportunity here for Strowman to finally lay the rest here. Mind you, there have always been good complaints about how months prior, even after SummerSlam 2018, that ever since Baron Corbin had been general manager, temporary general manager of Raw, Raw has seen the lowest ratings ever. You know, not to say the least here. And Athletic abusing his power. We even saw the special referee who technically not a referee, he's a wrestler. Heath Slater gets mistreated throughout that whole entire process before, used and abused as well. So yeah, thanks to little backup. Well, not a little bit. I'll say this a lot backup. Thanks to the backup of Apollo Crews, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Kurt Angle, and Finn Balor, even Heath Slater himself helping Braun Strowman get the win over Baron Corbin in 16 minutes. Thus, Braun Strowman pinning Baron Corbin and defeat him. Braun Strowman get the title shot, and Baron Corbin, thank the heaven God, will show up to his power. Mind you, I love Baron Corbin. I really do. I praise him for his accomplishments and his current King Corbin gimmick going right now. I love it. It's like the most top heel thing on SmackDown today. But I really didn't like Baron Corbin being General Manager of Raw. I didn't. I kind of that's the only thing I hate about Baron Corbin's career. So when you show through that, I was kind of like, yes, let him become a wrestler full time, work on getting to the top. Hell, it worked out. He would evidently defeat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 35 in Kurt Angle's farewell match. So Baron Corbin's power was not at all so bad. His career was still up there. But just to see Braun Strowman getting that win and knowing that we'll get a Braun Strowman Brock Lesnar match at the 2019 Royal Rumble match here for the Universal Championship, it was pretty good to see that breath of fresh air, knowing that the fans were happy that Baron Corbin had lost power as being the acting general manager of Monday Night Raw. So it was pretty cool. All right. Next up here, we will see Natalya going up against Ruby Riott in a tables match with Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan in Ruby Riott's corner as part of Riott Squad. Mind you, we see things in the past about how the Riott Squad made fun of Natalya for her father passing away months earlier. And used with discretion. Natalya had been going through an emotional time. I think Natalya right now is the greatest submissions woman wrestler on the roster. Unless you got Asuka, you got Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, who all master submissions as well as Sasha Banks. But you take Natalya's pedigree from the Hearts, being the daughter of Jim D. Annabelle Neidhart, being the niece of Warren Owen and Bret the Hitman Hart, her rest of soul, and you take that caliber, that Hart caliber, that wrestling pedigree from that family, and that's what you get Natalya. That's where you get Natalya comes into play here. I really wish that Natalya right now, besides that one SmackDown Championship run that she had 3 years ago in 2017, and that other one, that Diva Championship win that she had in 2010, I really wish right now that WWE release Mega Champ one more time because she deserves it. She's one of the most hardworking women. The most number of women's matches, wrestled with a great win-loss record, mind you, in her career. Most pay-per-view matches compete of any woman in WWE history. You can compare her to Beth Moore. She will still have more pay-per-view wins in pay-per-view matches than anybody. That is huge. Natalya is number one right now. And the face of Ruby Riott here, Ruby Riott, another great tremendous competitor here. You know, from days at NXT to growing up here, she's even competed in Impact Wrestling a number of years ago, and I loved it. I really do. But Natalia, thank God, get the win here in tables match up here. As I pulled the pin in Sarah Logan, then Liv Morgan, and then Ruby Riott herself through tables. This is how tough Natalia proved herself to be that night, that she is unstoppable. Even when she's down, she will still rise to the occasion and get back up. That is the nation's competency of Natalia, and I love it. I really do. So I praise Natalia for winning this match up here, and I was happy about this decision. Next up, we'll see a bonus match between Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre here. Mind you, this is where I love Finn Balor. Great wrestler. I love his mystique. I love his character. All that. And then got back and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, who originally split up from being partners with Dolph Ziggler at the time. They were former Raw Tag Team Champions while feuding with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. The thing is, you have this big guy, Drew McIntyre, who should be dominating, running throughout the whole entire roster of Monday Night Raw. And from Balor here, this is what I didn't like. It may seem good on paper, but when you look at it, this match is kind of like a mismatch in a way. So, from Balor defeating Drew McIntyre in 11 minutes 30 seconds didn't really quite make sense to me here. I feel like this one should prove to Drew McIntyre to establish himself as a big competitor, as an unstoppable force at the time. He really wasn't doing much, except that maybe that one win in the Survivor Series with him and Lashley and Strowman being the sole survivors of that match versus SmackDown. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know, I didn't quite understand what was going on in McIntyre's career here. Mind you, the year before, he was NXT champion. Before losing to Andrade at NXT TakeOver War Games 2017. He comes in, off the injury, debuts on Monday Night Raw night after WrestleMania 34, team with Ziggler throughout the summer, helps Ziggler keep his Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins. You know, that wins that championship in December of 2018, loses them on the Monday Night Raw, the Ice, and in Providence, Rhode Island on October 23rd, I believe, October 25th, 2018. You know, and I don't know. It's so surreal. It seemed like Drew McIntyre's career was an up and down roller coaster at the time. I didn't really get where that direction was going with it, unless they just wanted to keep Finn Balor on top as the main guy. Because obviously, at this push, Finn Balor would seemingly defeat Cena and then go up against the Faith Lesnar for the U.S. Championship at Royal Rumble. So I guess that he was trying to build Finn Balor's character up, but still not make him seem like he was a small guy, small competitor. So I didn't really like it, but it happened evidently. So yeah, I guess that's how things are at WWE. All right, next up here, we'll move on to Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. Not one of the best chairs matches, I believe, but at the same time, it was pretty cool. I enjoy Mysterio versus Randy Orton because it's like a Day vs. Goliath matchup. We've seen these two battles in the past on SmackDown. So here they are again on SmackDown, but battle the chairs match here. I didn't know how, I can't remember how this match came about. Because remember, you, we were on the same team as Survivor Series when they lost. I guess they kind of worked together as much. But you got Rey back in his prime, head back in the WWE, returning at the Royal Rumble early that year in the Royal Rumble match. Now he's been feuding with different players on SmackDown. Come to Randy Orton. We're in the best Randy Orton there. For him to get the key moments matchup, for him to hit Randy Orton with that 619 with the steel chair was pretty cool. I like that. I think we'll start to see a little bit of the old Rey Mysterio, the high flying, is catch can game. The mouth, the. It's like a cat chasing a mouse. Very quick, very aerial. I love this. So it was kind of like seeing the old Rey Mysterio in this matchup here, and I definitely enjoyed it. This match lasted 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Not a very long chess match, but it was a pretty decent match, so I enjoyed it a little bit. All right, next up here, we will see Ronda Rousey take on Nia Jax with Tamina in her corner for the Raw Women's Championship here. Let me tell you something. I love Ronda Rousey. Ever since Ronda Rousey came to WWE, she has been a unstoppable force. At times, she was undefeated. Actually, she was undefeated at this time. So you got her taking on Nia Jax. Mind you, these two had a women's championship match at Money in the Bank before it was interrupted by Alexa, who cashed the Money in the Bank to win the Raw Women's Championship. So this is a return match. We never had a winner between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. Coming off Ronda Rousey Survivor Series, beat up pretty badly by Charlotte Flair, but that wouldn't really test to get her. I'll put her down. So for her to take on a big challenge at Nia Jax Raw Women's Championship, this was a big move for Ronda Rousey to step up and prove that she was really the baddest woman on the planet. Because she would defeat Nia Jax via submission, not by pinfall, to make Nia Jax tap out to the cross arm breaker in 10 minutes 50 seconds here. This was proving that, you know, she is really the baddest bitch on the planet. As you can see backstage after that match up here, Becky Lynch with that shot to Nia Jax backstage and keep her name out her mouth. I felt like this was a really bad night for Nia Jax overall. To get beat by Ronda Rousey and to get knocked out backstage by Becky Lynch. Really bad night for Nia Jax. I even felt that a little bit, but Nia Jax had to come in by calling herself the face breaker with that right knuckle and pretty surreal here. So I think Nia Jax really got what's coming to her that night by Ronda Rousey. So pretty badass match. I actually enjoyed it. So it wasn't too bad at all. Next up here, we'll see Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship here. I'll admit, I was a big fan of Daniel Bryan turning heel before the Survivor Series to face Lesnar in the champion matchup. Look, AJ Styles have been WWE champion for a year on top of the world from November 2017 through November 2018. AJ Styles has dominated the year as champion, one of the longest championship runs in WWE's history. I can say AJ Styles is phenomenal. Everywhere AJ Styles has been, whether it's been Impact Wrestling, New Japan Wrestling, WWE, he has been the world champion. No matter what, AJ Styles will forever be on top of this game. He's still on top of this game to this very day. So facing Daniel Bryan, this is like that dream match, you never got to see, but you finally get to see it. But you expect like all these high flying graphics, pretty cool from both these guys. Technical wrestling a little bit too, because Dan Bryan can take you down with the good mat wrestling skills. But at the same time, you gotta admire, you know, AJ for not like, flipping out or getting himself disqualified. Really keeping an edge here to make sure that he does defeat Dan Bryan to become the new WWE champion here. This match is pretty back and forth here, but Dan Bryan getting the knee and beating AJ Styles. This time Frank scored compared to the first time these two fought on SmackDown last month in November to get the win in 23 minutes and 55 seconds. Pretty good long matchup here. I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, one of the better WWE Championship matches that we have seen between two phenomenal competitors. So praise to Dan Bryan for having his turn and become himself the Planet's champion. Also, AJ's credibility too. It wouldn't really be back for her because AJ Styles will still keep himself in the WWE title picture. Yet for the next month or so. All right, we'll see. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. This was weird here. As I go back to talk about the Monday Night Raw that I went to in probably on I think it actually was October 20th, not 25th. October 20th, 2018. We had saw Dean Ambrose win the tag team champions thanks to Braun Strowman defeating Dolph Ziggler and the United States Raw Tag Champion. And then Dean Ambrose hit Seth Rollins with the dirty deeds out of nowhere. I was gonna believe it. I was lost. I was looking at the guy next to me sitting in the front row. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What just happened? These guys are on tag champion. Dean Ambrose pissed his partner down. Like, what in the hell's going on? And we have, Dean Ambrose explaining week after week after week, staying quiet. They're finally talking, saying that, because Seth Rollins, what he did to him years, he felt like it was some sort of payback. Why didn't this happen 2015, 2016, 2017? But why would Dean Ambrose like 4 years to do to Seth Rollins what Seth Rollins did to him? I really didn't. It didn't make any sense. I mean, I like Dean Ambrose's heel turn. I think it was much needed. With this looking thing, the buzz cut. But I feel like this was kind of the wrong time to do it. A confusing time to do it at that. But evidently, they would lose the Raw Tag Team Championships. Well, Seth Rollins beat Tag Champs by himself, figuratively speaking, while being the Card Championship at that too. But it's like, still, I really didn't get it. These two have a match up here. I don't know if the fans were not into it as much or because there were so many matches. I feel like TLC 2018 was a heavily booked pay per view, but it's actually 12 matches throughout the entire night. I don't know if the fans were restless, but it's more of a sleeper match. They are best friends in real life, but I feel like this match could have bought more. It could have such a stipulation to it. I really want one match. I'll admit, I even fell asleep a little bit on this match up here. Seth Rollins is a phenomenal competitor. He beat Shinsuke in one of the WWE Dream matches at Survivor Series 2018. I feel like this match could have had a certain stipulation. The SC title was on the line, and Dean Ambrose did win, becoming the Intercontinental Championship in 23 minutes. But I don't know, I felt like the fans wasn't into this match, nor they didn't like the storyline between these two. I thought it was confusing to me. I didn't like this much. This is probably one of the worst Dean Ambrose stuff on the matches I've ever seen. And I'm glad that we didn't do it again. This is like a one shot only, so yeah. Next up, we got the main event. I know, finally, main event here. I know it's been a long show, guys. We got the main event of the first ever triple threat table ladders and chairs match against with competing Oscar, Becky, and Charlotte Flair. Phenomenal matchup here. I love this. I was into this match every second because we even saw at one time both Becky and Charlotte falling off ladders into separate announce tables at the same time, coincidentally. This was freaking amazing. All three of these superstars took bumps, shots at each other throughout everywhere. Whether it was a table smash, a ladder shot, or a chair shot. Either way, this was a brutal TLC matchup for three women. That'll be really delivered with this matchup here. But good gracious God, Becky Lynch is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Oscar and Charlotte Flair are challengers. As we see Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair going up the ladder, we see Ronda Rousey coming in as payback for what happened at Survivor Series or even earlier within the weeks, pushing both of them out the ladder. Oscar, of all people, climbed the ladder and Oscar winning her first SmackDown Women's Championship. That was a big shocker. I did not expect. I thought either it was going to come out to Becky or Charlotte, with Oscar being the shadow of the matchup. But Oscar would have won it and become the Women's Championship. making Ronda Rousey stick it both to Becky and Charlotte. This was pretty damn surreal here. I was actually happy because for Asuka to be undefeated, having an undefeated streak ended by Charlotte for WrestleMania 34 early that year, and just to be throughout the entire year and win the SmackDown Women's Championship after never losing the NXT Women's Championship, coming to the WWE in October 2017 at Table Legends Share 2017, and getting to win at TLC 2018 after the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was pretty damn cool. I loved it. WWE, I figured that it was going somewhere with the whole Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair storyline. This was a good way to kick it off here. WWE did a really good job in this matchup. I commend them for that. And Asuka becoming the SmackDown Women's Championship was the icing on the cake. This match lasts 21 minutes and 45 seconds here. And I gotta say, it was a long event, TLC, but it was a pretty good finish. A pretty good start, maybe sleepy middle, but pretty good finish. I enjoyed it. I really did. Ah, I mean, we've seen a lot of good table chairs matches in the past, events in the past. I'll be talking about more of them down the line. Thank you guys for tuning into this podcast. This sponsor bonus episode, I know, a really long event, lots of matches. I know. Well, I'll show them next time. Don't worry. And we'll see you next time. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And enjoy WWE, I mean, not WWE, NXT TakeOver War Games tomorrow night on the WWE Network.